Hey there, and welcome back to the athomedive YouTube channel. As always, my name's Joey, and today we're in the kitchen making an all-time favorite. Today, we just finished up making the German potato salad video, and if you haven't got a chance yet, click in the top right corner now to see that video. But we decided that we needed to make something crispy to go with that. So we're making pork schnitzel. There's nothing better than crispy fried pork, so sit back, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive right in. Alright friends, on the counter today we have a super simple list of ingredients. I have about 4 ounce pork cutlets. I have 1 teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of ground black pepper, 1 cup of AP flour, 2 eggs. I also have 2 cups of panko in a Vitamix pitcher, and I'm actually just going to grind that really fine, and that's going to come out to 1 cup of really finely ground panko. So let's go ahead and do that now. It's actually that fast and simple. So I'm going to pour that out onto a plate, and these are the things that we're going to bread the pork cutlets with. To get started, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pound these out thin. I like to take a Ziploc bag if I'm at home, and I put them in here 2 at a time. And when I do that, I just give them a little bit of space, put them on opposite ends of the bag, and then I'll just close the bag. You don't have to seal it. I'm actually just going to take anything solid and heavy, and we're actually just going to beat it out flat. So this takes a minute, but just be patient and try to get them moderately even. Once these are pounded out to about 1/4 of an inch, that's perfect. So as you see, we just have a nice thin cutlet. That's gonna cook really fast and it's gonna be very easy to work with. So it's actually pretty efficient. I'm gonna go and do these other 2 and then we'll get started breading. So now we have all 4 pounded out nice and thin. We're just gonna stack them up over here and we're gonna move on to the breading stage. We're gonna take our salt and pepper and just kind of stir them together here. And once we've got them mixed, we're just gonna go through and season the pork pretty generously. We're gonna season the meat itself and not the breading, unlike we typically do. Schnitzel, for some reason, we just classically do it the other way. We bread the meat itself, just like we do with any other application, before we bread it. Now that the meat is seasoned really nicely, and I have a fork, and we're just gonna go ahead and beat an egg until fluffy. Perfect. Now I'm going to pour the egg into another moderately flat container. And the reason, if you notice, I have these in plates where we usually bread things in bowls is because the shape of the cutlet fits well with wider, flatter containers. So we're really just going to take the seasoned pork cutlet and we're going to roll it in the flour. And just like anything else, I'm going to try to keep one hand as dry as possible and one hand wet. Once we go from the flour, we're going to shake off the excess and we're going to roll it in the egg. And then we're going to let the excess egg drip and we're going to go straight into the breadcrumbs. When we're in the breadcrumbs, I like to add some to the top and just press it. And whenever you press it, that just kind of helps make sure you get that extra crust. Just like whenever we did the chicken tenders video, pressing it in there really well helps soak up any of the extra moisture into the breadcrumbs and keeps you from having wet spots. Once these are completely breaded, I'm just going to shake off the excess again and set it over onto a fresh plate. And I'm going to repeat this process with the rest of the pork. Fantastic. So we do have our 4 breaded pork cutlets here. We're going to go ahead and clean this stuff up real quick, and then we're going to fry them off. So now we're going to go over to the stove, and we have one really large pan here. The cutlets are about 1/4 of an inch thick. I'm going to need at least an 1/8 inch of oil in the pan here because we are going to shallow fry. Probably going to do these 2 at a time because we want to make sure they have plenty of space. We're going to go and put this on medium-high heat, and we're going to go and grab the pork, and we're going to wait for this oil to get nice and hot, and then we'll be right back. It looks like the oil's starting to get hot here because it's loose and starting to shimmer. I like to take just a touch of breading and throw in there. It's gonna bubble very gently. So that lets us know that our oil is about ready. We're gonna go ahead and put the pork in. I like to lower the pork in very slowly away from us. And if you'll see, it gets that nice sizzle when you go in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put 2 in here, like I said, so we don't overcrowd the pan. And as you can see, the oil is actually coming up over the edges, and that lets us know that we do have plenty of oil in there. So we're gonna let these fry until they're crispy and golden brown on one side, and then we'll give them a flip. As thin as the pork is, we don't have to worry about it actually getting done, because by the time it's nice and golden brown on both sides, it should be cooked all the way through. You see these are starting to brown here around the edges. That is expected pretty quick. We're gonna go ahead and just turn it over. And again, as you can see, I am flipping it away from me. We're gonna wait just a second on this one. Like anything else fried, we're gonna pick it up and let the excess oil drain out of it. And then we're gonna place it right onto a paper towel here. I am waiting just a second just to make sure that we get a nice, crisp nature to all of it. If you can see here, it is gonna start forming nice, crispy edges on all the brown spots. We're gonna give it just a second to make sure that all the breading is completely cooked and nice and crunchy. And then we're gonna go ahead and pull it out. Fantastic. Now we're gonna go ahead and repeat the process with the next 2. All right, so there are our 4 beautiful pork cutlets. So here's the pork schnitzel that we just made, and we're gonna put it right on a plate with some German potato salad. I prefer a fresh squeeze of lemon juice at the very end with mine, just to kind of round out the dish and give it a little bit of sharpness. All right, friends, well, that wraps us up on how to make pork schnitzel. Comment below and let me know how yours turns out. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you like the video. Have a great day.